career. He lost decisions to Willie the Worm Monroe and Bobby Boogaloo Watts from Philadelphia and had to suffer while watching less deserving challengers receive title shots. Hagler avenged his 2 defeats by knocking out Monroe and Watts in rematches. He was starting to get a loyal fan base. Around this time, promoter Bob Arum of Top Rank took notice and signed him. Arum managed to pull some strings, and finally, in November of 1979, Hagler was in the ring with the world middleweight champion. Vito Antuofermo gave Hagler a shot at the belt, and the fight turned into a classic. So let's get ready to rumble. Antuofermo, Hagler from 1979.
Gentlemen, the officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for the next fight of the afternoon. The judges are Dalby Shirley, Hal Miller, and Dwayne Ford. The referee is Mills Lane. The attending physician at ringside, Dr. Donald Romeo. The timekeeper is Ed O'Toole. Counting at the knockdowns, Mike Morobito. This is a feature attraction of the afternoon. 15 rounds of boxing for the undisputed middleweight championship of the world. Introducing, in the blue corner, weighing in at 158½ pounds, the challenger, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And in the red corner, introducing, from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in also at 158½ pounds, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Vito Antuofermo. 15 rounds of boxing.
So this highly anticipated showdown between Vito Antuofermo and Marvelous Marvin Hagler. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, Hagler a year older. One of the keys in this fight could be the reach. Hagler with 6 inches in reach advantage. Can he use those long arms and his jab to keep Antuofermo from bull rushing him throughout the course of this fight? Sugar Ray Leonard will be competing for a world championship later on this card. Leonard, the 1996 U.S. Olympian gold medalist, will take on Wilfred Benitez of Puerto Rico. Benitez, the reigning welterweight champion of the world. And they should be treated to a good one between Hagler and Antuofermo. Antuofermo won the title earlier this year on June the 30th in Monte Carlo, Monaco. A 15-round split decision win against Hugo Coro. On that same card, Marvin Hagler knocked out Norberto Cabrera with a TKO in the 8th round. The long-awaited title opportunity for Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He has been battle-tested, taking on tough Philadelphia fighters like Willie Monroe and Bobby Boogaloo Watts. He lost to Watts a couple of years ago, but rebounded with a win against Monroe. Also in a huge battle with Philadelphia legend Benny Briscoe. That was last year. A grueling 10-round decision. Antuofermo also fought Briscoe in New York last year. He won a 10-round decision. Antuofermo will just try to push forward and see if he can make it a street fight against Hagler from Brockton, Massachusetts. Antuofermo, born in Italy, moved to the United States at the age of 10. He fights out of Brooklyn, New York. They exchange jabs here in round 1, scheduled for 15. The World Middleweight Championship at stake. Antuofermo got out of the way of that long left hand from Hagler. Midway through round number 1, feeling out process. No telling blows landed. Short shot inside, scored by Hagler. Doubles up the jab. Antuofermo to the body, came up short. Who can keep their lead foot on the outside? boxer fighting the southpaw. Controlling the distance. Antuofermo charging in. Hagler with a short right hand to the chin. Mills Lane separating the two. A lot of energy in the building with this showdown between Antuofermo and Hagler. Under 30 seconds to go in round one. Good straight hand scored by Hagler. He used the jab and then a straight left. It backed Antuofermo up. Good jab by Hagler, finding the range. Final seconds of the first round. The World Middleweight Championship on the line. Antuofermo defending his title against Hagler. There you get a look at Vito Antuofermo, born in Bari, Italy.
Where's the wall? Where's the wall?
Antuofermo had a very good amateur career, fighting in New York in the Golden Gloves. From Brockton, Massachusetts, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Born in Newark, New Jersey. Grew up in Brockton. Good first round for the challenger, Hagler. And there's the bell to begin round number two. The most telling blow so far landed by Hagler. Good jab near the end of round one. And a straight left hand right to the chin of the champion Antuofermo. There's that left again. Hagler finding the range. Hagler pumping out that jab. We talked about the reach advantage, 6 inches. Hagler using it wisely. Creating space. Corner of Hagler saying, pick him, Marv, pick him. Use that jab against the shorter-armed Antuofermo. A little swelling under the left eye of Antuofermo. Another nice combination by Hagler. Antuofermo trying to bull rush his way in. Hagler doing a nice job of tying him up, not allowing Antuofermo to get the punches off. Midway point, the second. Antuofermo lands his first good power shot of the fight. By Hagler, misses with a left hook. And again, Antuofermo tries to bore his way in. This is where Vito Antuofermo wants to be, on the inside, making it rough. Chant of Vito here in Las Vegas. For Antuofermo, the reigning middleweight champion. Mills Lane separates the two. A better round two for Antuofermo, but Hagler still controlling it. Good stiff jab by Hagler. Get the sense if Hagler stays consistent with his jab, it's going to be tough for Antuofermo as Vito tries to swing his way in. End of round number two. Hagler Antuofermo.
Give me the bucket.
Little disagreement in the corner with referee Mills Lane.
Vito Antuofermo was born in Italy, but his family moved to the United States when he was just 10 years old. Antuofermo learned how to fight on the tough streets of New York, and by the time he was a teenager, made up his mind to be a professional boxer. Stay tuned for more boxing action.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Everlast, Choice of Champions, available at the Fight Network store.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Affliction Clothing, embodying our generation's fast and loud attitude and lifestyle. AfflictionClothing.com.
Big left hook from De La Hoya, his best punch of the fight. The super brilliant Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Floyd Mayweather has waited months to finally lace up the gloves.
I'm gonna do like I done to 37. I'm gonna bust that ass.
Oscar De La Hoya is tired of all the pretty boy talk.
You're gonna bust my ass and you can bust an egg.
The winter of hype is over, and the Fight Network will be in the eye of the storm, delivering hourly updates on the biggest fight in years, direct from Vegas.
I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Everyone's talking, and the world will be watching. Oscar De La Hoya, the most celebrated fighter in the world. Floyd Mayweather, the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. Don't miss the biggest fight in years. De La Hoya versus Mayweather, May 5th.
You know, when I was younger, my grandmother got me started on this art called origami. Man, I love that stuff. I'd grab napkins and menus, and I'd just fold everything everywhere. You know, little cranes and lions and zebras and stuff. The worst part about that is those paper cuts, man. Those things really hurt. Came to a point where I had to find something else to do with my hands. Man, I missed that. Man, I really missed that.
It takes two to make a mega fight. Fight Network, what's up?
See, that's what we need here, a Fight Network.
Hi, this is your man,
Oscar De La Hoya.
Pretty Boy Floyd, coming to you May 5th. This is the Fight Network.
The Fight Network.
And you're hearing it from the best fighter in the world. Signing off, saying peace.
Before the bell, De La Hoya, Mayweather, inside the mega fight the world is talking about. Premiering Friday, May 4th. Total fight coverage, the Fight Network.
And now let's see what happens in round 3.
The Petronelli brothers in the corner of Hagler from Brockton, Massachusetts. You're at the corner of Antuofermo. You're waiting. Put more punches together. Round number 3 underway. Hagler has used his jab effectively. Vito Antuofermo making the first defense of his World Middleweight Championship. Won earlier this year in Monaco. Owner of Antuofermo says, "Get going, champ." Seems a little reluctant. Maybe it's because Hagler has hit him hard with that jab and a couple of straight left hands. Straight left from Hagler. heads come together. Antuofermo prone to cuts. See the scar tissue under both eyes. He's been cut before. Will that play a factor? Referee Mills Lane asking them to fight out of the clinch now separates the two. Low from Hagler. Again, the heads come together. Hagler goes conventional now, switches out of southpaw. Doesn't look nearly as fluid, goes back to southpaw, and then lands a combination to the face of Antuofermo. Hagler's had to bide his time to finally get a world championship opportunity. Many feel a long overdue opportunity. He's trying to make the most of it here. Landed some good shots here in the third. Antuofermo right now just not throwing enough. Allowing himself to be tied up on the inside. Again, Hagler goes conventional and sticks Antuofermo with a jab. Goes back to southpaw. Antuofermo just reaching right now. Beautiful round for Marvin Hagler. Great distance control. Back to right-handed. Hagler controlling the distance with his jab.
We'll be right back with more of this classic rivalry. You can't help but notice the grizzled veteran trainer in Vito Antuofermo's corner. This man is legendary trainer Freddie Brown. Brown was born on Manhattan's Lower East Side in 1907. He fought as an amateur before becoming a cornerman. This most distinguished of cut men worked the corners of heavyweights Abe Simon, Bob Pastor, and Larry Holmes, and middleweight champs Rocky Graziano and, of course, Vito Antuofermo. Brown was also co-trainer with Ray Arcel, who worked with the legendary Roberto Duran.
Pretty simple in the Antuofermo corner. Round number 4, scheduled for 15. Vito Antuofermo, the first defense of his World Middleweight Championship against Marvin Hagler. No knockdown so far in the fight. Hagler's controlled the distance. He's used his jab. He's landed the cleaner, harder punches. In round number 3, he switched to right-handed at times, befuddling Antuofermo. And Antuofermo just not throwing enough punches at this point. We talked about that reach advantage for Hagler. 6 inches. Again, Hagler switches up. Good shot on the inside to the body by Hagler. And Antuofermo holding on. Dan Hagler using a little head movement and a good jab. Chopping right just missed from Hagler. Little uppercut scored on the inside. Good hook to the body from Hagler. Get the sense Hagler could box Antuofermo all day long. Antuofermo, no answers right now. The Hagler's movement, switching from southpaw to conventional, and that long jab. When he gets inside right there, he's got to be busier. He allows Hagler to move away. Hagler tried the hook to the body right on the belt line. Mills Lane gives him a warning. Corner of Antuofermo. Come on, Vito. Getting just one or two punches at a clip. Nice combination by Hagler as Antuofermo marched in defenselessly. Close of round number 4. This fight being controlled by Marvin Hagler, challenging for the middleweight championship.
Come on, Pete. Give me the bottle of water. Give me the bottle of water. More pressure in here. That's what I'm going to do. I got it. Hey, listen, headman, don't let him down the outside. If you get close, pull him into the rope and punch inside. Don't stay outside. I know, we need more water. I get up and down. Go get it now.
Freddie was the cut man to one of the game's all-time great bleeders, the undefeated heavyweight champ, Rocky Marciano. Freddie Brown is best known for the repair job he did on Rock's nose, which was ripped lengthwise by Ezra Charles in 1954. After Duran's shocking no mas against Sugar Ray Leonard in 1980, a heartbroken, disbelieving Freddie Brown retired from the sport of boxing. Many say Freddie was the inspiration for the character of Mickey in Sylvester Stallone's Rocky movies.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Everlast, the choice of champions, available in Canadian Tire stores across Canada.
O primeiro round. O Urutu já começa a atropelar. Opa! Que isso, hein? Tirou agora o Evangelista Cyborg. Foi uma só. Acabou a luta, vitória do Evangelista Cyborg. Que coisa incrível. Olha, com 10...
Knockouts of the week are brought to you by Zions. Zions Extreme Supplements for extreme results. Now available in Canada.
They say, Chuck, you're a freak. They say, Chuck, you got a gift. They know nothing about me. They don't know the sweat and the sacrifice. I'll go anywhere, outwork anyone to remain champion. I will demand everything my body and mind have to give. And then I will demand more. I am Chuck Liddell, And now you know, I use science. Knox CG3.
Finally, adrenaline. Excitement. Adventure.
Don't miss out on all the great action. Simply the very best hunting and fishing television network in the world. Wild TV.
The battle continues from Costa Rica. Rafael the Claw Diaz toughs it out with Sammy Aziz. And Brad One Punch Pickett takes on J.R. Sims. Bodog Fight, Costa Rica Combat. This is mixed martial arts.
Tuesday and Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, on the Fight Network.
Hagler with 18 knockouts in his last 20. 2 decisions. Jim Henry back in 1977. And last year, Benny Briscoe in Philadelphia in that battle. No, we've talked about it during the course of this fight. Antuofermo not throwing enough, and when he gets inside, not busy enough. And you heard his corner say, you've got to throw more. Looping right hand, scored by Antuofermo. Hagler shakes it off easily. More of a sense of urgency from Antuofermo as we start the 5th. Now some loose tape on the glove of Hagler. He'll cut that off. You don't want that loose tape getting in the opponent's eye. Antuofermo bull rushes his way in, but he doesn't throw. Hagler doing a good job tying him up. Hagler missed on a hook. Antuofermo missed on the counter. Be hard-pressed at this point to find a round for Antuofermo. Does land a good punch there. Puts 2 together. Now pressing Hagler a bit. Even heard some concern in his corner between rounds 4 and 5 about his lack of punches, lack of aggression, allowing Hagler to control the action. Lead right hand from Antuofermo scores. Hagler brushes it aside. Some of the champion's best connects have happened here in round 5. Hagler puts his punches together, chopping right from Hagler. Antuofermo answers. Final half minute here in the 5th. Left cross by Hagler just missed. He shoots the uppercut on the inside. Best round of the fight for Antuofermo, the champion. But has he done enough to win the round? 5 in the books. Antuofermo and Hagler.
Mouthpiece. All right. You're getting more effective. Jabbing and busting them up. All right. You're doing nothing. What's the right hand doing?
Hey, this guy's scared of you, man. You know what I'm saying? Towards your hand, champ. Vito. Campeón. Towards your two hands. Keep your hands up. All right?
We'll be right back with more Legends of the Ring.
Everyone's talking, and the world will be watching. Oscar de la Hoya, the most celebrated fighter in the world. Floyd Mayweather, the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. Don't miss the biggest fight in years. De La Hoya versus Mayweather, May 5th.
Exclusively available at the Fight Network store.
I remember when I was a kid, I had my first pair of skates are these like periwinkle blue color, come up to about here. And my dream was to become a professional figure skater. Some of the greatest athletes in the world. 13 years old, I was going to be in the Easter pageant. Big finale, I was going to do a double Lutz. Well, my coach, he pulled me out of it.
That's not cool, man.
He said I wasn't no good.
That's not true.
So I threw him in the rear naked and I choked him out. God, I love figure skating.
The only difference between you and the current world champions is that they got a shot and you never did. This is your shot. Each week, two of you are going to fight. The winner stays, the loser goes home.
It's the series that put the sweet science back on network TV. Catch The Contender Season 1, Thursday on the Fight Network.
Violence, violence, and more violence. This is the Fight Network. If you have a problem with violence or you are too young to watch violence, please turn the channel.
Antuofermo won the middleweight title by defeating Ugo Corro in Monte Carlo just 5 months prior to climbing into the ring with marvelous Marvin Hagler. On the morning after winning the title, Vito and his crew were on their way to a small vacation town in Italy. When he was driving under a bridge, he witnessed a car fly off the bridge. The car landed right in front of his, and luckily, Antuofermo and the occupants of his vehicle were unharmed. However, he was so shocked that he kept driving and never found out what happened to the occupants of the other car. It was about 20 minutes later that Antuofermo finally regained his senses. That is, until he climbed into the ring with marvelous Marvin Hagler. Let's return to the action.
Okay, Jeff? Okay.
The challenger's corner appears a lot more relaxed than the champion's. Round 6 scheduled for 15. Vito Antuofermo, the first title defense of his World Middleweight Championship against Marvin Hagler. There have been no knockdowns in the fight. Hagler easily controlled the first 5 rounds with a jab, quicker hand speed, more accurate punches. Round 5, the best round for Antuofermo, but still a close round. The common refrain from Antuofermo's corner: throw more punches. Put them together. Been one at a time. Wild left from Hagler. Antuofermo scores with a couple of body shots. Hagler with a couple on the inside, peppering the face of Antuofermo. Now he goes right-handed. That worked in rounds 3 and 4. And he'll switch back to his conventional southpaw. combination by Hagler. Peppering Antuofermo. The champion tries to respond. Again, Hagler finding the face of Antuofermo. That jab of Hagler has been so effective so far. He's kept Antuofermo right in his place, whether it's a right-hand jab or a left-hand jab. Antuofermo doing a lot of reaching. See, Hagler just stiff arms him away, peppering that jab. And it's not just a rangefinder. There's some pop in that jab. Straight left has worked as well for Hagler. Swelling under the right eye of Antuofermo. Final seconds of the sixth. Looks like a walk in the park for Hagler to this point.
Marvin Hagler was one of the top middleweights in the world, and everybody knew that. But people didn't want to fight him, and people didn't want to give him a chance to fight for the title because he had 3 strikes against him. 1, he was black. 2, he was left-handed. People didn't want to fight left-handed. And 3rd, he was awfully, awfully good. So as a result, he was frozen out, so to speak, of the middleweight championship picture. I got on my desk 2 letters that scared the hell out of me. I had been promoting a lot of these middleweight championship matches. One letter was from Senator Ted Kennedy, and the other letter was from Tip O'Neill, who was Speaker of the House of Representatives. And the letters said the same thing. Mr. Arum, if you don't arrange for Marvin Hagler, our constituent, to fight for the title, we're going to have a congressional investigation, a joint investigation with the House and the Senate.
We'll be right back with more Vito Antuofermo versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Everlast, the choice of champions, available in sport and all.
takes 2 to make a mega fight. Fight Network, what's up?
See, that's what we need here, a Fight Network.
Hi, this is your man,
Oscar De La Hoya.
Pretty Boy Floyd, coming to you May 5th. This is the Fight Network.
The Fight Network.
And you're hearing it from the best fight in the world. Signing off, saying peace.
Before the bell, De La Hoya, Mayweather, inside the mega fight the world is talking about. Premiering Friday, May 4th. Total fight coverage, the Fight Network.
The following program contains violence and lots of it. Viewer discretion is advised. If you don't like it or you are not old enough to watch, turn the channel.
When Hagler fought Antuofermo for the first time, we finally got that fight on. If you watch the pictures from that fight, you will see sitting at ringside Tip O'Neill, because he was there to make sure that his man Marvin Hagler would get a fair shake.
It's set for the start of round 7. Mills Lane wants some of the Vaseline off the face of Antuofermo. He's got a cut under the right eye, swelling around the left. The handiwork of Marvin Hagler. Can Antuofermo find the key to create some offense? Hagler's jab has just kept him away. Even when Antuofermo gets to the inside, like just there, Hagler's beating him to the punch. You know Vito can't deal with him from the outside. He needs to make hay when he gets inside, but he's not. Hagler has used movement like this. Switch to right-handed. Goes back to southpaw. Antuofermo seems confused. Best round for Antuofermo was the 5th. It's the only round I've given him so far. We're in the 7th. Left hand from Hagler caught the ear of Antuofermo. Too many punches by Hagler. Little resistance from Antuofermo. After being bypassed time and time again, Hagler making the most of his first world title shot. Antuofermo not punching enough on the inside. Hagler is. Final seconds of the 7th. More Hagler than Antuofermo. Victor Galindez will be fighting in New Orleans later tonight.
You can't lay back on this guy, man.
Marvin Hagler using his jab, superior hand speed, reach, controlling Vito Antuofermo. Wilfred Benitez getting a little rest. He'll defend his WBC World Welterweight Champion here in Las Vegas against Sugar Ray Leonard, the #2 welterweight contender in the world, 1996, gold medalist for the United States. Round 8. Antuofermo and Hagler. Cut under the right eye of Antuofermo. He's reaching, he's groping. He's trying to find an answer to Hagler's defense. Hagler again, using movement, turning his head, moving side to side, switching from right-handed to southpaw, peppering Antuofermo with a jab, shooting off straight left hands. No answer from Antuofermo, the champion. There he gets a little offense going, does Vito, the champion. But Hagler ties him up. No room to punch on the inside. An electric atmosphere here in Las Vegas. It's been kind of subdued, though, by the workmanlike precision effort of Marvin Hagler. They haven't had that memorable moment yet. Antuofermo with a lunging punch. The end of it caught Hagler. Midway point of the 8th. Hagler making it look easy. Antuofermo a little frustrated. His corner has been frustrated. Antuofermo pushed the right hand that scored. Not a lot of force behind it. Left hand from the champion. Hagler with that jab and foot movement. Again, Antuofermo not able to unleash his offense against Hagler.
Antuofermo is fighting Hugo Coro in Monte Carlo. I'll put Marvin Hagler on the card against a pretty good Argentine fighter named Cabrera. And if he beats Cabrera, I will guarantee you that he will fight the winner of Coro Antuofermo. One of the worst fights in the history of boxing. You couldn't get Coro to throw a punch. Time for a decision. They announce that Antuofermo has won the title. I have never seen this before. Hugo Coro in the ring is cheering and applauding the fact that his opponent, Antuofermo, won the fight because it means that he, Coro, wouldn't have to fight marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Stay tuned for more boxing action.
The Fight Network cordially invites you to join us every week as we present to you, direct from the birthplace of boxing, jolly old England, Hennessy Boxing. Forget about afternoon tea and make a date with the princes of pugilism.
Beckons him in. If you're looking for royal beatdowns from across the pond, take a gander at Britain's best boxing action. Big right hand. Through the ball, trapped on the rope. Hennessy Boxing, only on the Fight Network. Get it on.
The pay-per-view events calendar is brought to you by Viewer's Choice. See it all by contacting your television service provider today to order.
My name is Jennifer Brooks. I'm from Theodore, Alabama, and I use Accelerate. Before, I was covering up my body. You know, I didn't want anybody to see how I looked, and Giants helps me get through the day. After I do my workout, I still have energy to play with my kids. My husband loves me on Giants. You know, I feel better about myself. I look better. I'm able to keep up with, like, the smaller people now. I've accelerated my weight loss, and I'm going to lose more weight, you see.
Track Jennifer's progress using Accelerate at Zions.com.
The only difference between you and the current world champions is that they got a shot and you never did. This is your shot. Each week, two of you are going to fight. The winner stays, the loser goes home.
It's the series that put the sweet science back on network TV. Catch The Contender Season 1, Thursday on the Fight Network.
And now, let's get back to the fight.
Scheduled for 15, Marvin Hagler trying to take the title away from Vito Antuofermo.
When you're punching, you look good. Get some good high strikes. Okay? Doing very good now. Come on.
Now the corner of Antuofermo saying you've got to punch more. It's been pretty obvious. Round 9 underway. Hagler again starts the round with that movement. Anytime Antuofermo gets any kind of offense going, Hagler will tie him up, reset, and start pumping the jab. Hagler's moving, Antuofermo not cutting the ring off. He's just chasing. That enables Hagler to do that. Pump out that jab. Antuofermo's World Middleweight Championship at stake. His first title defense against Marvin Hagler. Good hook to the body right on the belt line by Antuofermo. Tries it again. To trade right hands. Good little sequence here for the champion. It's Hagler getting a little too defensive. Earlier in the fight, he would fire that jab and then shoot the left hand and found the mark several times. Is he content to just box here? Trying to take the belt from the champion. Now Hagler steps into a left that just missed. Accuracy from Hagler has dropped a little bit here in the ninth. Bit more aggressive from the champion Antuofermo. As we roll to the close of the 9th round, Antuofermo defending his middleweight championship against Marvin Hagler. Better round for the champ.
Puppy. Why? You're making this guy miss. You're not punching, man. Punch!
Fans trying to rally Antuofermo with the chant of veto.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by iTex. Save money on products and services. What would you trade for new customers? Visit our website today.
I mean, he's never been in there with a guy like a Pretty Boy Floyd. You know, I'm the top dog. I'm the honcho.
The more he talks, the better for me. Once they get under my skin, believe me when I tell you, it's over for them.
First of all, it's played on ice. Bad idea from the get-go. Then you got these gigantic guys running around with sticks, smacking into each other, chasing a big old chunk of rock-hard rubber, and then they're going to give this slamming a cute little nickname. Let's call it checking. That's gentle. That doesn't even include the bare-knuckle fist fighting. Gloves off, let's do this.
That's just totally barbaric.
Gentlemen, have we not evolved? Random drug testing? I don't think so. Random IQ testing. Yeah.
Randy Couture is back. Get the Fight brand clothing designed by MMA legend Randy the Natural Couture.
What do you think? I like them. I think the shirt looks more natural on me than it looks on the natural. Yeah? No, it doesn't. It does so. Look at this. Come on. This looks great.
Exclusively available at the Fight Network store.
I look better. Really? I think so. How about now? I think it looks more natural on you.
You're watching the Fight Network. Pretty soon you'll see a couple of guys or maybe girls punch or kick each other. If this offends you or you are too young to watch this stuff, please, we are begging you, don't watch our channel.
Let's go back to the action in round 10.
On the thing, you got to punch. You're not punching. Come on, come on. That's it. Take him charging. Spin him on the ropes. The whole bit. It's like, there's no difference going to the ropes.
We begin the 10th round here in Las Vegas. Marvin Hagler and Vito Antuofermo, the first title defense of Antuofermo's middleweight championship. Hagler has controlled this bout with superior boxing skills. He's used the jab, the straight left hand. He's switched to right-handed. He's used movement. Scheduled for 15. I have it 7 rounds to 2 for Hagler through 9. He hard pressed to find much more to give Antuofermo. Antuofermo's own corner. Feels like their man is letting it slip away. And Antuofermo doing a lot of chasing of Hagler. Hagler not as busy as he was earlier. Is the distance a factor? Hagler has never been past 12. His championship fight, 15 rounds. Conserving a little energy here. Then he tattoos Antuofermo. Antuofermo off balance. Looked like he was going down. Takes a right hand and charges forward. Both men hitting on the break. Good body work by Hagler. Little short left scored by Hagler. Can hear the corner of Antuofermo. Vito, be first, be first. He hasn't been. Of all those exchanges on the inside, Hagler gets the last word. Good uppercut by the challenger.
If you've been watching Hagler, you see that he's fighting predominantly southpaw. But pay attention as he mixes up his styles in the ring. The common thought in boxing circles at the time of this fight was that a fighter had to back Hagler up to beat him. And you can hear Antuofermo's corner yelling, "Back him up, back him up." The thought that trying to force Hagler back was the best way to fight him was a fallacy. But it was a prevailing thought and seemed justified at the time. We'll be right back with more Legends of the Ring.
Step into the ring, the Fight Network. Big left hook from De La Hoya, his best punch of the fight. The super brilliant Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather has waited months to finally lace up the glove.
I'm gonna do like I done to 37. I'm gonna bust that ass.
Oscar De La Hoya is tired of all the pretty boy talk.
You're gonna bust my ass and you can bust an egg.
The winter of hype is over, and the Fight Network will be in the eye of the storm, delivering hourly updates on the biggest fight in years, direct from Vegas.
I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
Want to size the other one up. Get ready for whatever move. Right away by Igor Garris. Right to the head. Goes to the chokehold. This is a very quick match. It's over. Andy Anderson has called this match.
Knockouts of the week are brought to you by Zions. Zions Extreme Supplements for extreme results. Now available in Canada.
They say, Chuck, you're a freak. They say, Chuck, you got a gift. They know nothing about me. They don't know the sweat and the sacrifice. I'll go anywhere, outwork anyone to remain champion. I will demand everything my body and mind have to give. And then I will demand more. I am Chuck Liddell. And now you know, I use Science, Knox CG3.
The World Fishing Network is online and on demand. WFN.TV is the best resource for anglers on the web, featuring hours of streaming video. From Bob Azumi to Rex Hunt, WFN.TV offers the best fishing programming on demand.
I'll lead you to the promised land.
Want to catch more fish? Get video tips from the top anglers in the business. From bait to boat safety, the best instructional videos in our Pro Tips section. Check out our community page to learn more about the industry. And in the download section, you'll find podcasts and multimedia tools. Sign up to WFN.TV today and get hooked.
Come from the four corners of the world: Europe, Asia, Australia, and North America. Each man a champion in his own country, coming in to test their skill against the best.
Look at these two battling it out.
It's the Super League, home of the greatest Thai kickboxers in the world.
Great action here in Super League of the Fight Network.
Returning to North America, it's the Superstars of Super League. Catch it weekly only on the Fight Network.
Let's go back to the fight. It's round 11.
Marvin Hagler controlling the action against the champion Vito Antuofermo. We start the 11th round. Hagler has outworked the champion. Landed the sharper punches. Controlled the ring. Here comes the champion Antuofermo, trying to make it a street fight. His only chance against the tough challenger from Brockton, Massachusetts. Heads come together. Antuofermo doesn't care. He wants to keep his belt. Hagler seemed to handle the onslaught well. From the Hagler corner, sometimes you can hear it. They yell out hit and don't be hit. He's done that effectively in this fight. Hagler missing with the jab. Antuofermo gets inside, not punching though. Hagler, good left hand on the inside. With a good right followed by a left. The champion trying to respond. Hagler fighting the fight Antuofermo wants, and he's beating him at it. Uppercut on the inside scored by Hagler. It's like a switch went off in his head. He'd been boxing so beautifully. And he elects to go toe-to-toe with the champion. Is he playing with fire? He's getting the better of the champion, though. Good counter shot by Hagler. Hagler says, I'm going to beat you at your game as he tattoos the champion with a combination. After boxing through the first 10 rounds, Hagler going toe-to-toe and beating the champion Antuofermo punch for punch.
In the state of Nevada and in most boxing commissions, there's only 3 legal cut solutions, and anything else would be illegal. There are some solutions that would almost seal the cut up and make it like a plastic over it, or there's something called Monsoil solution that's completely illegal that could get in the fighter's eyes.
We'll be right back with more Vito Antuofermo versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
The battle continues from Costa Rica. Rafael "The Claw" Diaz toughs it out with Sammy Aziz. And Brad "One Punch" Pickett takes on J.R. Sims. Bodog Fight, Costa Rica Combat. This is Mixed Martial Arts.
Tuesday and Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, on the Fight Network.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Affliction Clothing, embodying our generation's fast and loud attitude and lifestyle. AfflictionClothing.com.
In the old days, they used to use ferric fluoride, then it got Moncel solution, it got barred. So today it's Avitin and it's Adrenaline 1000, and I don't believe in using Q-tips because you're liable to tear tissue. I believe in using cotton. I believe in putting the pressure on the area. It's all according to where the cut is. If the cut's on the lid there, you can take care of it easier. You can pinch it because it's dead tissue. It's all according to where the cut is. I mean, the arteries go up and down. You learned that also.
Well, by far the most action occurred in the 11th as Hagler elected to go toe-to-toe with the champion, Vito Antuofermo, and Hagler outdueled him. Will Hagler go back to his boxing style that worked so effectively in the first 10 rounds? Antuofermo's middleweight championship at stake. Referee Mills Lane separates the two. No knockdowns so far in the fight. Antuofermo leaning in. Let's see if Hagler makes him pay with an uppercut. Good right hand from the champion Antuofermo. That jab is peppered Antuofermo the entire fight. Cut under the right eye of the champion, swelling around the left. Short left hand from Hagler on the chin. right into a right hand there. As they fight out of the break, Antuofermo with a good right hand. Caught Hagler's attention. '25-year-old Marvin Hagler trying to take the title away from 26-year-old Vito Antuofermo. Uppercut just missed by Hagler. Antuofermo steps in with a right hand. End of 12.
We'll be right back with more Legends of the Ring.
It takes two to make a mega fight.
Fight Network, what's up?
See, that's what we need here, a Fight Network.
Hi, this is your man,
Oscar De La Hoya.
Pretty Boy Floyd, coming to you May 5th. This is the Fight Network.
The Fight Network.
And you're hearing it from the best fight in the world. Signing off, saying peace.
Before the bell, De La Hoya, Mayweather, inside the mega fight the world is talking about. Premiering Friday, May 4th. Total fight coverage, the Fight Network.
Everyone's talking, and the world will be watching. Oscar De La Hoya, the most celebrated fighter in the world. Floyd Mayweather, the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. Don't miss the biggest fight in years. De La Hoya versus Mayweather, May 5th.
Have we done?
Live event calendar is brought to you by Fairtex, exclusively available at the Fight Network store. Exclusively available at the Fight Network store.
The only difference between you and the current world champions is that they got a shot and you never did. This is your shot. Each week, two of you are going to fight. The winner stays, the loser goes home.
It's the series that put the sweet science back on network TV. Catch The Contender Season 1, Thursday on the Fight Network.
In August of 1978, Hagler fought Benny Briscoe, who was about 4 or 5 years past his prime. The fading Briscoe carried the fight to Hagler and lost a unanimous decision. However, before the fight, many thought old Benny would be taken apart by Hagler, who was entering his prime. Hagler backed away from Briscoe and seemed to avoid exchanging and fighting inside with Bad Benny. After the fight, slight rumblings could be heard indicating Hagler didn't like to be pressured or forced to fight inside. But the truth is, Hagler could beat you any way you could bring it. Right now, let's bring on the action.
So Hagler and Antuofermo have gone toe-to-toe over the last couple of rounds.
6 minutes and win and keep it that.
Hagler looks fresh. Concern in the champ's corner.
Vito. 6 minutes.
These are the championship rounds. We start the 13th. Hagler has never been past 12. Antuofermo has been past 12 on 4 occasions. Antuofermo went 15 in his last fight, a split decision over Hugo Coro in Monte Carlo back in June to win the World Championship. Hagler boxed Antuofermo through the first 10 rounds. Peppered him with jabs, controlled the action. In round 11, he elected to go toe-to-toe with the champion, beat him to the punch. Antuofermo tried to press the action in round 12, landed some good shots. But is he doing enough to win rounds? I have it 9-3 for the challenger, Hagler. 117-111. Get the sense listening to Antuofermo's corner. They feel the champion is losing his title. Displeased with his lack of aggression. A lot of that has to do with the challenger and a strong jab and good movement and a blistering straight left hand. Pumping left from Hagler found the cheek of the champion. Good left cross from Hagler. Antuofermo with a right hand. Hagler responds. Hagler on the bike here. Antuofermo says, "Come on, fight me." Left hand from the champion scored. Antuofermo saying, "Fight me," because he can't box Hagler. In Hagler's desperation to win this middleweight championship, after being bypassed several times for an opportunity, will he be lulled into a false sense of bravado and fight Antuofermo's fight down the stretch? Will he stick to his plan and pepper the champion with jabs? We have 2 rounds to find out. Round 13, the best round of the fight for Antuofermo, arguably. The first round that his corners felt he has won. I have it 9-4 for the challenger, Hagler. Round 14. Neither man has been down. Antuofermo rocked earlier in the fight. Now he's fighting with that intensity that we didn't see earlier. Putting punches together. Maybe he senses his championship reign will be a short one. As we mentioned, Hagler in uncharted waters. He had never been past 12. Here he is fighting in the 14th with a middleweight championship at stake. Hagler's gotten away from that long jab, controlling distance. Antuofermo finally able to bully his way in and make it more of a street fight. With left hand over the top by Hagler. Cut along the right eye of the challenger. Antuofermo has a cut under the left eye. Hagler digging in. No answer from the champion. Good body shot and hook to the head from the champion. First time in the fight, Hagler looks a bit weary. Good left hand by Hagler. That left hand worked earlier in the fight. That stopped the champion in his tracks. Final 25 seconds of the 14th round. Antuofermo trying to rally back after a very slow start in this fight. Hill's lane separates the two. That's the end of the 14th. Cut along the right eye of the challenger.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Everlast, the choice of champions. Available in Sport Check stores across Canada.
Everyone's talking. And the world will be watching. Oscar de la Hoya, the most celebrated fighter in the world. Floyd Mayweather, the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. Don't miss the biggest fight in years. De La Hoya versus Mayweather, May 5th.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Science, extreme supplements for extreme results. following program contains violence and lots of it. Viewer discretion is advised. If you don't like it or you are not old enough to watch, turn the channel.
minutes.
Yeah, you got it. The last 3 minutes.
Wake up. 3 minutes. You got to go on the way. Okay? Jeff, you got to finish these 3 rounds strong.
Hit him on his chin.
Okay?
Right hand.
Right hand of the chin. Combination. Okay? You got to win this round.
Concern in the corner of Antuofermo. 15th and final round as they touch gloves. Will the middleweight championship of the world change hands? Antuofermo in his first title defense against the challenger Marvin Hagler. Good right hand by Hagler to start the round. Antuofermo looking to respond. Hagler controlled the first 10 rounds of this fight. Just boxing on the outside. In round 11, he looked to go toe-to-toe, won the round, but Antuofermo has gained some momentum with each round. Hagler cut in the last eye, right eye. Hagler trying to load up with that left and right hand. Throughout the course of this bout, his punches have been crisper, straighter, more effective. On my scorecard, the champion needs a knockout to keep his title. I have Hagler ahead comfortably, 10 rounds to 4. What a battle between these two. Antuofermo has taken a lot of punishment in this fight. As Antuofermo punches forward, Hagler lands a short left. Both men kind of slapping with their punches. Right cross by Hagler scored. The 25-year-old from Brockton, Massachusetts. Is he on the verge of taking away Antuofermo's title? Wow, what action here in the 15th. Both men exhausted. Left hand by Hagler scored. Right hand by Hagler. Fans to their feet. And there's the bell. What a fight. Vito Antuofermo and Marvin Hagler. Hagler raises his arms in victory. He's won it on my card, 11 rounds to 4. Did Antuofermo keep his title? His own corner, concerned through the first 10 rounds, was not busy. He was doing a lot of chasing as Hagler had a perfect plan. Did Antuofermo land enough meaningful blows? There were so many early rounds where he did little. His own corner admonishing him for a lack of punch output. Hagler boxed beautifully through the first 10 rounds, then elected to fight Antuofermo's fight. Here's Chuck Hull with the decision. Do we have a new middleweight champion of the world? Or does Antuofermo keep his title? Little delay as they add up the scorecards. Chant of Vito here in Las Vegas. Hoping Antuofermo got the decision. Chuck Hull appears ready. Good effort. Good, clean fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the decision of the judges. Judge Dolby Shirley scores 144, 142, Antuofermo.
Wow.
Judge Wayne Ford scores 145, 141, Marvin Hagler. Judge Hal Miller scores 143 Hagler, 143 Antuofermo. The decision is a draw. Antuofermo is still the middleweight champion of the world.
Wow, this pro Antuofermo crowd, even they seem stunned. And Marvin Hagler can't believe it. Quite frankly, I can't believe it. It's a draw. Antuofermo keeps the World Middleweight Championship. In those first 10 rounds, Antuofermo didn't do much. You'd be hard-pressed to find more than 2 rounds in which he did enough to win a round, even by his own corner's admission. But he gets the draw and keeps his championship. The crowd here at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, a bit stunned.
Here's a little something extra for you.
What did you think of De La Hoya's Will Bradall? He's going to hurt there. That left hand looked as though it staggered Bradall, and he's down again for the second time in this fight. All the punches have missed. Bradall leaned in with a good right. Now he gets De La Hoya back into a corner for the first time. De La Hoya unmarked. Would appear to have won almost every round. Combination De La Hoya. Bradall in trouble.
Thomas Hearns looking to defend this title for the first time.
And Barkley is trying, though. He's trying to keep his balance. Staying in, and now he's bleeding from both eyes.
Hearns continues to go to the body with a left uppercut.
Schuler, because everything in that fight flowed off the left hook to the body, and that's what's happening tonight.
Against Alexis Arguello. Mancini has been gritty, trying to hang in there with the decorated Arguello. Left hand by Arguello, could not find the mark. Mancini trying to press the action. Some blood from the nose now of Mancini. Arguello is steady as ever. Oh, that right hand hurt Mancini. As Tony Perez takes a look. And he makes the bell.
You toss in some dedication on top of both of them. Chiquita Gonzalez.
And you know,
down goes Carbajal. Solid left hand, sent him flat on the back of his lap.
And it came from a right hand of Carbajal.
Carbajal lands a solid shot on Carbajal, still effective with the right. Down he goes. Gonzalez knocks him down across the way. Second knockdown.
Oh my. That should be a knockdown. That should be a knockdown. He went against the ropes.
We'll be right back after this. The passage.
This segment on the Fight Network is brought to you by Everlast, the choice of champions. Available in Walmart stores across Canada.
Left hook from De La Hoya, his best punch of the fight. The super brilliant Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Floyd Mayweather has waited months to finally lace up the glove.
I'm gonna do like I done to 37. I'm gonna bust that ass.
Oscar De La Hoya is tired of all the pretty boy talk.
You're gonna bust my ass and you can bust an egg.
The winter of hype is over, and the Fight Network will be in the eye of the storm, delivering hourly updates on the biggest fight in years, direct from Vegas.
I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
The pay-per-view events calendar is brought to you by Viewer's Choice. See it all by contacting your television service provider today to order.
My name is Jennifer Brooks. I'm from Theodore, Alabama, and I use Accelerate. Before, I was covering up my body. You know, I didn't want anybody to see how I looked, and Giants helps me get through the day. After I do my workout, I still have energy to play with my kids. My husband loves me on Giants. You know, I feel better about myself. I look better. I'm able to keep up with, like, the smaller people now. I've accelerated my weight loss, and I'm going to lose more weight, you see.
Track Jennifer's progress using Accelerate at Giants.com.
The World Fishing Network is your home for the best angler programming daily with 5 distinct genres. First is the Ultimate Fishing Block with the best in tournament and competition fishing, featuring the FLW Tour. The International Waters Block features big game fishing from the top programs around the world. The All-Canadian and American Angling Blocks give you the best shows from North America. The School of Fish Block highlights the instructional and lifestyle aspects of fishing. 5 great ways to watch, 1 great channel. The World Fishing Network. Get hooked!
The passage of time allows us to more objectively analyze the overall body of work and strengths and vulnerabilities of any fighter. I'd be willing to bet there's a generation of middleweights who fought in between the years 1973 and 1987 who would agree with me. They are the middleweights who had the misfortune of fighting during the marvelous Marvin Hagler era. The Antuofermo fight was declared a draw after 15 rounds, resulting in Antuofermo keeping the title. Although most who saw the fight felt Hagler deserved the decision, it was obvious that being rushed to punch in order to keep Antuofermo off him took something off his punches and disrupted his fighting style. What was overlooked was Briscoe and Antuofermo were 2 of the toughest middleweights of that era. Most middleweights would get their head taken off fighting Hagler with that style. Something history would prove over the next 5 or 6 years.
Antuofermo fought a tremendous fight against Hagler, but he really wasn't in Marvelous Marvin's class. And Marvelous Marvin pretty well won that fight. But the decision was a draw. And Hagler couldn't fight Antuofermo or couldn't fight for the title again for another year. So we arranged a series of 3 10-round fights for him. And finally, Minter had taken the crown from Antuofermo, and Hagler fought Minter and became the middleweight champion.
In the rematch between Antuofermo and Hagler a year later, Hagler made sure there was no room for argument, dominating Antuofermo and winning a TKO in the 5th round. 2 years later, Marvelous Marvin Hagler was rated at number 35 in Ring Magazine's 100 Greatest Punchers of All Time, and is generally regarded as one of the top 3 middleweights of all time. He was effectively the best middleweight in the world for 10 years. He was the champion for 7 of those 10, but was the #1 contender for the 3 years before he won the title.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the southpaw out of Brockton, Mass., home of Rocky Marciano. He dominated the middleweight division, and he had a very tough act to follow in Carlos Monzon. But Marvin came along, and there wasn't a better 160-pounder in his generation.
After the Hagler bout, Vito went on to lose his title to Alan Minter. Hagler then quickly went to England to face off with Minter and beat him in just 3 rounds. After that fight, a riot broke out, and Hagler and his trainers had to be carried away to their locker rooms by the police. In the middle of a rain of beer and bottles and glasses, it was a heck of a night. After several attempts at becoming a top middleweight again, Antuofermo retired from boxing in 1984. He began to pursue an acting career and soon landed a small speaking role in The Godfather Part 3. He's landed several small roles and other movies and TV shows since. More recently, doctors found a non-life-threatening dark spot on Antuofermo's brain. They believed it might be related to Antuofermo's days as a boxer. Antuofermo's record reads 50 victories, 7 defeats, and 2 draws with 21 wins by knockout. After the draw with Antuofermo, Hagler said, "They don't want me to have the titles because they know I'll keep them." Hagler was right. He kept them for 7 years. Thank you for watching Legends of the Ring. I'm Michael Buffer.
The only difference between you and the current world champions is that they got a shot and you never did. This is your shot. Each week, 2 of you are going to fight. The winner stays, the loser goes home.
It's the series that put the sweet science back on network TV. Catch The Contender Season 1, Thursday on the Fight Network.
Catch the biggest kickboxing event in the world every week only on the Fight Network.
I'm Gilbert Melendez. I'm a MMA fighter for Fairtex. My goal is to be the best in the world, is to be the best, beat the best. If I could say one word, I just want to say that kid's all heart. I'm fortunate that I get to train with 5-time Olympic champion Johnson, and he's taking my MMA game to a whole new level. Team sports is intriguing, people blaming each other and people depending on each other. And that's when I joined wrestling in high school. It's like one-on-one, and you win, you lose. It's because of you. I train hard, fight hard, party hard. That's the on-the-mat motto.
I think Gilbertson really was and go very far. The guy's undefeated. He's really proven himself, I think, in the ring, and every time he comes here, he busts his ass.
I'm not a rich kid. I never have been, but I've been spoiled with a lot of love from my family, and that's it's just made me a good person, and it's also made me a better fighter. I'm like any other 24-year-old out there. That's all I got to say. Just my job's a little different than a lot of them.
Exclusively available at the Fight Network store. Fight Network cordially invites you to join us every week as we present to you, direct from the birthplace of boxing, jolly old England, Hennessy Boxing. Forget about afternoon tea and make a date with the princes of pugilism.
Beckons him in.
If you're looking for royal beatdowns from across the pond, take a gander at Britain's best boxing action.
Big right hand. Through the ball, trapped on the rope.
Hennessy Boxing, only on the Fight Network. Get it on.
Guys, I got something on my mind. Everybody gets depressed nowadays. All they want to do is watch reruns. It's all about choices, my friend. Nobody should be watching reruns of anything ever. Put down the remote. My yoga instructor's 98 years old, working me like I'm the old one. Put down the ice cream, get off the couch, jump out of an airplane, go see Brazil, live your life. If you live to be 90 years old and the only thing you jump to is conclusions, that's a waste of perfectly good DNA.
He is the baddest in professional wrestling. He is Samoa Joe, widely considered to be the best in-ring performer on the planet today.
Who can finally defeat Samoa Joe and end this title reign?
See Joe submit and stomp his way to victory in Ring of Honor. Coming up next, only on the Fight Network.
Step into the ring, the Fight Network.
You're watching the Fight Network. Pretty soon you'll see a couple of guys or maybe girls punch or kick each other. If this offends you or you are too young to watch this stuff, please, we are begging you, don't watch our channel.
Welcome back to Ring of Honor Wrestling here on the Fight Network. I'm Bobby Cruz. This week we'll show you more matches from Glory by Honor 4 that took place on Long Island, New York. In a four-corner survival match, it will be Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion B.J. Whitmer versus Ricky Reyes, Adam Pearce, and Samoa Joe. And the Ring of Honor World title is on the line as James Gibson defends this week against American Dragon Bryan Danielson right here on the Fight Network.
You know, last time you people saw me here in Ring of Honor, I was quite frustrated. I was upset. I was angry. There were a lot of different things that caused that. The whole thing with Homicide and the Rottweilers was just beating me down mentally and physically. The whole thing with not winning the Ring of Honor World Championship, I knew I could beat Austin Aries for that. And when I didn't, I was really, really frustrated. I needed to clear my head a little bit. So I went to Europe. And that's what I did. I wrestled in England, I wrestled in Cyprus, wrestled in Germany, wrestled in Austria, had a great time. Got to wrestle great wrestlers like Robbie Brookside, James Mason, Doug Williams, some of the best wrestlers in the world. And then it's time to come back and everything. And Ring of Honor said, hey, we'd like you to come back. And I thought about it for a little bit, and I really didn't know what else there was for me to do coming back to Ring of Honor, because right now I feel like I'm stronger, I'm faster, everything is more crisp. I feel like a better wrestler right now. But I've main evented as many shows as I can main event. I've beat Samoa Joe, I've beat Austin Aries, I've beat all the top guys in Ring of Honor. But there's one thing I haven't done, and that's win the ROH World Championship. And when I look at the guys who have won the ROH